All right. Hi, guys. Madra here, and welcome to Money Matters. And it's so nice to see all of you once again. Yes, we were on a very short break with regards to Money Matters, but we are back with exciting content for all of you. I think I want to do a lot of different things this season and want to bring more amazing speakers to come and share their experiences with regards to Money Matters. So I think today, you guys are aware, today our topic is going to be very exciting. We are featuring Miss Jessica from Jump and Jive Juniors. So she's going to be sharing about her entrepreneurship journey. I think in Money Matters, we feature a lot of speakers from various backgrounds. We have had youngsters who share about how they manage their finances. We have had plenty of entrepreneurs who have shared the struggles they face, not just in their personal finance, but also in terms of their businesses. And we have had people who are successful in their career, people with a lot of experience in the area of finance come and share regarding specific topics as well. So my hope is that through this show you will get to learn something new every week with regards to your finance, and you get to apply this and improve on it, and learn from other people's mistakes so that you do not repeat them and go through the same hardships and lessons and all of that as well. So one of the huge things that a huge help that all of you can do for me is to help share this link with your friends and family. You never know who may be keen on this particular topic. You never know who it will help. I myself have grown a lot and been impacted a lot many times because my friends chose to share something that they have enjoyed and learned from with me. So if you guys can share out this link, if you can drop a comment, if you can hit the like button, that would mean a lot to me, and continue tuning into our shows. I think one of the things you can do is join our Money Matters Telegram group, where we constantly give updates on our upcoming episodes. Now and then we have some challenges with our fellow members in the group. I think previously we were talking about, if you were given 1,000 ringgit, what would you do? There's so much of exciting answers. A lot of people shared about the plans they had, the travel plans they wanted to do, the things that they wanted to invest in. It was very nice to see what are the priorities that people have with regards to money and all of that as well. So just a little bit, I think one of the interesting topics that is going on right now, especially if you're someone who is in Malaysia, the border has just opened up, so everyone is looking at a whole new world of traveling. We can look at whether we want to invest into travel now. I think during the pandemic, while being stuck in our respective homes, all of us were like, the moment the border opens, I'm gonna go everywhere, I'm gonna travel, I'm not gonna like stay at home. But in the 2 years, some of us have, maybe may have forgotten some of the plans that we had at the beginning stages. So I think it's a very good time to sit down and reflect, like, actually, what do you want? Do you really want to invest into travel? Is that something that you look into? Is that something you are ignoring at this point in time, and should be looking into? I think it's a very good time to reflect on our priorities and see whether we are sticking to them or we are getting distracted with our day-to-day worries. And I think the other one is, of course, in Malaysia, the EPF funds have decided to allow the withdrawal of 10 up to 10,000 for those who are eligible. And I think that is also very interesting to see who is withdrawing, who is choosing not to withdraw, why certain of us are going for the withdrawal, why some of us are not going for it. If you are someone who is eligible for that, do drop a comment on what do you think people should be doing. Should we be withdrawing it, or should we not be withdrawing their money? I think it's a very interesting topic to talk about. Maybe I should get a speaker to share on that topic as well. So yeah, okay. So today's topic, how I made my entrepreneurship work. We have Miss Jessica Jacobs from Jump Jive Juniors, and she does amazing things, right? I think one of the things that they do at Jump and Jive is they do play. They provide learning through play. I think it's something very interesting. When I was in school, basically, uh, it was pretty much just books, and I think it is very interesting to see that learning has gone to a new level where we are no longer just limiting ourselves to learning through books and knowledge and whatnot, but also looking at play, especially for those who are young. So you guys can check out Jump Jive Junior's website. I think they have listed down the many exciting activities that they have with regards to sensory play, music, movement, and this is very much catered to young children. I think within the age of 3 to 5. I think this is very well suited. They have so many exciting activities. I know recently they had one on Holi as well, a Holi play session. After many months of being stuck at home in their respective homes, I think kids got an opportunity to interact again, of course in a much in a safer environment with the proper SOPs in place. So I had a huge uh, amazing time having conversations with Miss Jessica on how she started Jump and Jive Juniors, what was the struggle she faced, what are the mindset changes that she needed to do to make sure that her business does well. And that is what we talked about. And I hope all of you who are watching today's episodes, you get to take something away, not just in terms of becoming an entrepreneur. I think many of the things she shared will be applicable to our life in general. I think it's very good values to adopt to be successful in life. So this is the interview that I had with Miss Jessica. Hope you guys enjoyed this sharing, and yeah, enjoy the episode. All right. Hey guys, so we are here with Miss Jessica from Jump Jive Junior. Thank you so much for being here with us. How are you feeling today, Miss Jessica?
Feeling great. Thank you.
Thank you so much once again for being here. I think I already gave an intro, but I always like to hear about what entrepreneurs, see their own lives as. So you do run Jump and Jive Junior, but I mean Jump Jive Junior, but I would like to know, how did you come about running this business? I don't think this is where you started off. You had a whole history before that. So how did you end up where you are right now, in a way?
Sure. I'm very, very happy to be in this platform to share my journey. Of course, as everybody know, I am Miss Jessica, but I'm actually known as Teacher Jessica. So
Yes.
obviously, the journey started of me being a teacher. As young as 18 years old, I started working with young kids in an early childhood development center. There you go. I built my experience, knowledge, career, and not just being a teacher. After a couple of years, I grew up a ladder in terms of career, like a team leader, trainer, manager, regional manager. And after about a decade or something, that's where, I kind of grow into somebody who has this vision, like maybe someday I would do something to open, right? To open a center or something. It's not something like, one day I just decided to open a center. However, the being as a teacher, I always been very workaholic, like morning until evening I'm working, and then after work I'm still considered working, especially if you're in a manager kind of role. You're like literally working 24/7. So being that hardcore employee and so loyal to the brand, it takes time for somebody to be an entrepreneur. Yeah, definitely. So along the way, as I was working, there was a change that happened. The changes was I changed the company that I work. I ended up working only for one center because before that I was working managing 6 centers.
Oh
So when
wow.
I jumped into just one center, I got bored, like really bored. So I even take up like part-time studies after that. Then, upon being bored, I was like, okay, maybe I should do something. Then there's the time an opportunity came in when an NGO president asked me, how much would you charge if you're going to be teaching some children? So with an NGO, actually, I have done some volunteer work, kids activities and stuff like that. So when she
Yeah.
asked me, that's where it kind of like, you know what? Maybe I should charge for the work that I'm doing. So it's kind of like inspired me to the next level. Then I went to check out a space, a shared space, and I was like, okay, you know what? I should actually do center. That's where it started. So for me to get into the entrepreneurship journey, I didn't go full time all out immediately. I started as
Yeah.
a part time. For my work, I kept it as a part time. Then I was juggling both when I felt it was okay for me to take the risk. So you see, it was not like, okay, everything okay, I can full time concentrate on business. There would not be such a way,
Yeah.
especially for startups. So when I
Yeah.
felt like, you know what, I can take a risk now. So I left the full-time, part-time job and concentrate on jump and jive solely. And eventually now I have a bigger center of.
Very nice. I think one of the things that a lot of people struggle with is making that transition. It's not easy. A lot of people have tried, and then they'll go back to work because they are not able to sustain it. So in you actually have managed to successfully do it, and you've been growing your business since then. What do you feel makes you different in the sense of you were able to manage that transition? Yes, you were already doing it before you kind of like started the business, so that helps. But what are the other, I don't know, attributes or characters you must have to kind of like make that change in a way?
I think there are two things to look at. One is the support system that you have. So, being an adult and, having financial commitment and stuff like that, people around you got to support what you do. It's very important. So I was already married, of course, and my husband was supportive. He's like, okay, so now you want to do this, okay, go for it. So that support was there. The
Yeah.
next part is another support system where a, a learning community was there for me. So what happened, I got myself into a community where I can learn about business inside. How can I grow as an entrepreneur? You see, I'm a teacher, so I don't come with business background, but I was very operational manager kind of role I was playing when I was working. But how would I know about costing? Managing a center or opening, having our own business is very different
Yeah.
compared to working under somebody. So there was a lot of skill I needed, even social media marketing, business startup, marketing plans and stuff like that. So one of the things that I do it was definitely is learning. Certain thing we have to unlearn, go into a learning mode and continuously enhance, and it doesn't stop. So I think that
Yeah.
is one of the significant thing that I'm doing it until today. That is very, very important for an entrepreneur.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think, for example, if you are a student and you're first stepping into work, again, it's the same. If you have that attitude of learning, you will grow much faster than someone who's resisting that. You did mention that previously you were very much of an operation person, which is, I think, most of the people out there, including even myself. I'm also very much into operations. I like to organize stuff and get things done. That is fine. But being an entrepreneur is so much more than that. You have to bring in customers, you have to retain the team that you have to make sure your services are constantly, wanted in the market, and there's so many other things to look into as an entrepreneur. So like, how did you like actually like start? What were some of the things that you had to do at the beginning stages to kind of like actually do the work as an entrepreneur? Like, a lot of people think is like, if you become an entrepreneur means you must set up a business plan and then you sit at Starbucks and look at your laptop and work. Is that what entrepreneurship is all about, or what was your lifestyle like when you first started?
I think definitely I made mistakes in the beginning, like most of the startups do,
Yeah.
especially when you don't have anyone to look up for. The person I could look up for was my own previous employers, and they were like big brand themselves, globally known. So for a very small startup, you are like just doing everything from the ground. Where
Yeah.
definitely I made many mistakes along the way in the beginning as well. But what was very sure was when I'm doing something, I was very passionate working with kids. So that customer relationship, which is of course my clientele, is the parents. Then I
Yeah.
had a very strong relationship, and such businesses in child development actually grow through grassroots efforts such as mouth to mouth. Like, how people are sharing about yourself, like, oh, okay, teacher Jessica does a good job in this. And
Yeah.
one person need to see it, then others may follow along. So I started building a lot of that. And that happened 2018. Of course, after a while, when the pandemic come, what happened to that physical classes? The effect was
Yeah.
definitely there. But the fact that I have built that relationship, and a lot of customers support over there, which is the parents. I didn't stop when the pandemic hit. I continuously, like always be in touch with them. So the
Mm.
branding was always there.
Yep.
That has helped me.
Yep. I
So
like that
after a
because
while, people will come and look for us and the brand.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think if you take the effort to build that relationship at the beginning, then it will benefit you for years to come. Right? Like one of the things I personally regret a lot nowadays is I met a lot of amazing people over the years, but because I was younger, I probably wasn't really aware what I was doing. So I never took the effort to maintain that relationship. But now I look back, I'm like, I wasted so many opportunities by not keeping in touch with these people. You mentioned that during the pandemic you went back to them and kept in touch, and hence you were able to grow. Pandemic was one of those periods where, I mean, we're still in the pandemic, but I think the first year, especially 2020, was the year a lot of them got wiped out. Those who thought we would survive were struggling during that period of time. So what was the experience like for you running? I mean, like you mentioned, it's a business where you deal with kids. You most of them were at home. So what did you have to do, and how did you manage that crisis in a way?
Okay. The fact that I'm in early childhood, what we used to hear in the first year of pandemic when it happened, schools are closing down, teachers are not getting salary, business are just closing. They cannot afford
Yeah.
to pay rental. They're closing all the physical. And then there was this thing about online classes, which is of course primary level students were learning to cope. Secondary is also struggling. How about early childhood?
Yep.
I was in a mindset, what, why would a 3 years old need an online class? Not possible. So I kind of like take my time about 3-4 months resting that idea about like it's not possible. When everyone started doing things online, then I
Yep.
did actually research. I started doing research. How does other people out there do it? Then I came up with some content and I practiced and changed the way that I would perceive about camera, because I used to be a camera shy person too. So
Yep.
I overcome that part and come up with the right strategy to run an online class. So on 2020, I think that mid of 2020, I started running online play school, and the youngest student I would have is 23 months, and they
Wow.
will enjoy meeting me twice a week. And I have another batch that I used to run for 4 to 5 years old play school as well. So pretty much the online play school was starting from 2020, and until 2021 ending, I was successfully running online play school. And I add on another thing on my plate where I took up a certification on Jolly Phonics, and I started teaching children online on how to read using phonics. But a certification helped me grow so much. I even ended up having like a full-fledged. I am a Jolly Phonics instructor right now that I help people around the world. I have students from Japan, Indonesia, Singapore. Pandemic has really grown me as an entrepreneur, not just a teacher. But beyond that, it's just that the brand of Jump and Jive Junior was so busy online
Yep.
during pandemic. Yeah.
That's amazing. I mean, I work with like adults and probably maximum teenagers, and they themselves will complain about going online. But you're done with 23 months old. That's like less than 2 years old. That's crazy. I have no idea can't comprehend how amazing that is. Um, I think one of the reasons that a lot of them did shut down during the pandemic and all is the financial habits they would have had, or like how was their financials at that point in time. um as a business owner, do you think the way you were handling money before the pandemic and of course during the pandemic helped you to kind of like survive this period? And what were some of the things that you did financially financially that kind of helped you to sustain in a way?
Yeah, I think financial management is very, very important for business owners.
Yep.
Most important, like you got to plan ahead of time. When you know that you're going to be received this much, you got to carefully plan what you're going to do with it. Yes, for startups, sometimes we actually put everything into cost, but the most important cost you have to put for the startup is pay yourself first. If you don't pay yourself the labor charge, it
Yep.
will backfire you. You are going to be exhausted, you're going to be burned out, you're going to think that this is not happening. Yeah. So one of the things that I do is I gotta make sure like I pay myself, not putting when I'm calculating cost. That's very, very important. Again, I also learn on a hard way. After I make some mistakes, then I learn about it. Yes, managing income. So one of the things I did personally as well, I used to run play activities in a shared space. There was still rental there. And then
Yep.
I decided to stop that service and I used to go to toddler's house to do it. So the costing was different because costing was more of the transport related. It was not an overhead of a space. The costing was still there. But then when the pandemic come, we can't go anywhere to anyone's house. Um, so the costing reduced when it comes to online classes. In the beginning, to make sure that I still have a salary, I used to sell this thing called the busy books. It's like books that you can just stick, and I used to make a customized version of that. So I become this entrepreneur selling a product for kids while I am not teaching online. That's before that, right?
Yep.
So continuously every month there is money coming in. There's some sort of effort need to be there. Because if I just blame the pandemic and say 6 months I'm just sitting down, don't do anything,
Yeah.
or venturing is something completely different. So I didn't do something completely different. Remember I
Yeah.
told you about the customer relationship. I, I,
Yep.
I kept in touch along the way. The customer were also like supporting, right? So there are many roles that we play, and all that you can get support when you're doing it with fashion, and of course, meeting the demand of customers. So money management, this part is you got to be creative in your revenue streams. Don't think only one way. So I'm
Yep.
doing this, I can only do this. Yeah. So I
Yep.
think that pandemic has taught us how to be creative with our own revenue streams because of the hard time we go through. Yeah.
Yeah, I recall back at the in 2020 we had just launched like a workshop that we do for accountants, and the moment the pandemic came, of course, first 1 2 weeks none of us did anything because we were all just confused what is going on. But then after a while we were like, should we do this online? And there was so much of fear, but when we went online, like you mentioned, when you take the risk and you are creative with what you do, you find a whole new revenue stream, and there's a lot of other opportunities that comes up for you. So that's beautiful. I think what is amazing about the fact that you were able to thrive even during this pandemic is the fact that you were putting yourself out there. And like you mentioned, you went back to your customers, you were speaking to them, you were sharing with them, you came up with a new product, you were sharing that. Like how can a business owner who's watching this right now, how can they, what are some of the things that they can do to kind of like put themselves out there and get more people to understand their brand, or get their services and so forth?
Yeah, I think when it comes to social media, if you are your channel to reach out customers in social media, you should not sell, not SELL. It's not a selling. So it's more
Okay.
of like I advocate on play-based learning and positive parenting approaches. You see, so with things that you do, people come back. So let's say you are selling a nutritious product, something that how to benefit, but you talk a lot about that healthy living, nutritional benefit behind it. Not because this will make you slim. I will, please buy from me. So it's like you don't sell your product. That
Yep.
it's definitely something to ponder for many people. That will be a common mistake, lah, I would say. So, you're an entrepreneur, especially you come with a lot of knowledge, experience, passion, you know what you're doing. Share with people what you're doing. It's more like daily basis. How do I struggle? How do it? That kind of social media portray will actually help you to bring a better customers for you. Even sometimes when we are doing like a live sharing on social media, we may
Yeah.
not have a lot of viewers there. But don't let yourself give up with little things like that, because you don't know how it will benefit others. So it's all about talking about the benefits behind what you do, the values. Don't hard sell, I would say.
Yeah, I think that is very true, and a lot of people have now begun to, like use these platforms. I think before the pandemic, all of us were just like, social media is for fun. We'll go there when we need to relax and all that. But now social media is where we do our business, where we do our studies, where everything is pretty much going on. I think kids learn stuff from schools. I mean, like the syllabus on social media much better nowadays, because there's teachers who teach there as well. That's a very nice one. I think you were sharing, like, you have opened up now a physical play center and all of that. Although a lot of people are still doing things online, there's still, I think, some sort of fear still with regards to doing things physically and all. So that is a very big decision to make, and kind of like get started on. So, like, how did you, how do you decide whether you should take that risk or not, and actually embark on this new project? How do you make those decisions?
I think that decision of opening a center was definitely a sudden thought for me, because I knew that situation is getting better and everybody's going back to work. So
Yep.
now, when parents are going back to physical work, what happened to the kids? Who is teaching them?
Yep.
So they remain at home, maybe nannies taking care, grandparents taking care. But better solution is the children need to go to school, and they definitely need hands-on. When the world out there has started, why not us? So yeah, I started building my center. Of course, with the renovation and all that, center was ready in the middle of the year itself. Waited until towards the end of the year to launch the center. And we
Yep.
started doing a lot of like one-to-one sessions. It's nothing on a big group, follow SOP and all that. Only on January, I started my preschool. So far, Touchwood is going very well. However, now suddenly there's a spike of COVID case, if you know. A
Yep.
lot of people around us are having COVID. So, like one of the setback right now I have is my enrichment classes are not growing.
Yeah.
So just last week, I just did a quick share lah. For an entrepreneur like me, I was a bit down. I was like, oh, COVID cases is high again. I definitely affected business wise, because there is a revenue stream from the play school, but enrichment is quite low. How? Because I already have overheads and I've got the teachers
Yep.
and they are free, got nothing to do. And
Yep.
I was just, doing some research. I'm also doing other projects along. Then something came up, a holy celebration in India. Apparently, this week is a holy celebration. The
Okay.
festival of colors.
Yeah.
Then I was like,
Yeah.
you know what? I should only have a holy celebration in my center. It's fun. Then I quickly created a poster. I shared with some of my customers. They love the idea. And you know what? Within 2 hours, slots are full.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I was like going back to like, you know what? It did not hint me that work with the demand. It's not what you got to offer. It is not. Like I already put this is the classes, the type of things that I can give you. But
Yep.
people are not signing up. They're not signing up because it's a commitment. People are falling sick. They don't know if they sign up can come or not. Correct? But this is a
Yep.
one activity. And I just wanted, I was very genuinely, you know what? I just want to have fun with kids. And parents were
Yep.
like, yeah, kids not been going out since spikes in the cases. A one day event should be okay with limited with SOP follows and all that. It's full,
Yep.
and I actually opened another slot for younger age group too. and that one is almost full now.
Amazing.
See, so it is like we have to always learn and pivot, ready to pivot and think what works the best for your business. Don't like once that's a failure, you just sit on it and feel down. Cannot. You have to progress quickly. Then only you can progress as an entrepreneur and do a lot more. Very quick
That's a
sharing. This
very,
is something just happened this week, you see.
yeah, that's amazing. I mean, uh, a lot of people, like you said, would have just kept quiet, but then you are able to make that decision to like just try something. And I think that also shows that if you're someone who's very focused on your goals and in what you want to do, ideas will come to you. And I think you are a great example of that, because you're doing some research and that idea comes to you and you're able to execute it beautifully, and hence you keep growing your business. That is very, very nice to hear. Okay, so to kind of like probably wrap up in a way, uh, as much as I have entrepreneurs watching, I also have youngsters who are in school who may not necessarily have any business that they are running right now and all of that. In terms of entrepreneurship and probably even finance, what is one or two advice that you have that you feel youngsters should be, learning now itself, so that they can have a nice trajectory in their life?
I think anyone who have an idea like I want to be an entrepreneur, first you got to take the first step. And the first step can be different to everyone. So your
Yep.
step could be speaking to somebody in the field, or speaking to your own parents, or doing your own research, or it's all about, recording yourself. So do your
Yep.
first step. Eventually, the other steps will come. And don't worry if your steps fail at the age of 17, 19, 20, 30. Don't worry. That you got to always know that you can change yourself. That's very important. So the most important thing about this whole entrepreneurship is always learn and grow yourself. So biggest advice will be take your first step. Like advice for myself is when I first decided, you know what, I should take the risk and do a part-time business. For a hardcore employee, that was not a easy decision at all. Yeah. So making the first decision is important.
Very nice, very nice. I think most of us don't take the first step, or we'll take a step and then we freak out and then stop. So just take the first step and then continue on. I think that's a very, very nice
Continue.
thing that we should do. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Do you have anything else that you personally? How can anyone who's interested in your services at Jump and Jive Junior get in touch with you, and find out about what you do?
Sure. I think one of the reasons that I'm very, very interested what the whole Ascendance team do and all that, it's this whole community of youth going forward, building entrepreneurs, startup, letting them do their passion.
Yep.
And the fact that I like to be part of them is because growing more educators community. You see, right now everybody want to be TikTokers, social media, digital marketing, those kind of things.
Yep.
But not many of us going to be teachers. So I would say that early childhood development actually have a lot of career choices that
Yep.
you may not know, but it's highly demand in Malaysia and of course in overseas as well. Like we are lack of speech therapists, behavioral specialists, play teachers, infant teachers. So whoever are interested to build their career with being in teaching platform for young kids, you can reach out to me. I'll be happy to give you some of the insights, like what are your education options, what kind of salary you may get, and how can you flourish to even open up a center like what I have today.
Yep.
The other part is, of course, if there are parents watching and they are looking for play-based learning activity, you can reach out to me as I have a physical place at Bukit Puchong, a play center on my own. But it's pretty simple, It's for people to understand that an educator turned into an entrepreneur, it is still an educator.
Yep.
I'm not a business person. So I actually do really advocate on that play-based learning and that positive parenting approach. Yeah. So if you need me, you know where to reach me. Jump and Jive Juniors.
Very nice. I think I'll also drop the links in the chat so that if you guys are interested, you are more than welcome to click and quickly contact her. Don't forget it, guys. So yeah, thank you so much, Miss Jessica. I or
Thank you,
teacher
Madhura.
Jessica, for sharing your experiences. I had a lot of fun talking to you, and I think all of us have a lot to learn. Maybe in the future we can have you again to learn more stuff from you as well.
Sure, sure. We're welcome. Thank you so much for having me, Madhura. Lots of love.
Yes, thank you so much. All right, guys, back to Money Matters. So that was my conversation with Miss Jessica from Jump and Jive Juniors. I think she shared about her entrepreneurship journey, the values that she has had. I think some of the things is very simple things that we can apply. Just get started, you know, and be creative in your revenue streams. I think that is something that many of us will be very fearful to do. But it's important to look into it. I mean, it's probably shouldn't be the first thing you do where the 1 month into business you already have 5 different things that you're working on. I think that usually does not go well, but for some of us who have been in our businesses for some time, it is very important to keep things fresh, keep looking at other revenue streams, and making being more creative in that aspect in a way. I think there's a lot of takeaways from Jessica sharing. So if you guys have anything that sticks in your mind, please do drop it in the comments so that our fellow viewers will also be able to capture those key points in a way. Let me know what was your biggest takeaway from today's sharing from Miss Jessica. I think all of the Money Matters episodes, including today's one and the next one and all the previous 43 episodes, all of them have some unique takeaway that we can apply immediately. I think one of the things that I was looking at is making sure that I continue to put myself out there and continue to share the work I do, continue to do Money Matters, and impact people and bring all this amazing information and experiences out into the masses. And I think all of us have something to share as well. So probably that is one of the takeaways that you may have. So help us out. Put some comments in on what was your biggest takeaway. That would truly mean a lot to me. If you like today's episode and you would like to continue joining for our future Money Matters sessions, all you have to do is join our Telegram group. So we have a Telegram group for all the updates of future episodes. All the posters will be released, the links will be sent there, so you do not need to fill up any other RSVP form. You do not need to make sure that you click reminders on specific pages. It is just in this one group, everything is being updated. And of course, any other relevant information with regards to Money Matters or finance will be sent in there as well. Of course, you can also follow me on my social media to get these updates as well. So pick your method, guys. Do you want to join our Telegram group or follow me on social media? You can find me at The Real Madhura on Instagram as well as on Facebook. And I will kind of like update all of the upcoming episodes there as well. Next week we have a very exciting episode. It's on the topic of giving. I don't know about you guys. I think giving to people, it could be in any way. It could be charity. It could just be helping someone. It could be sponsoring somebody. It is a very, very interesting topic. A lot of times people have very contrasting views on giving. A lot of us have very strong opinions on this is how it should be done. It's a very, very interesting topic to talk about. And I am bringing one of my favorite people to come and talk about this topic. So please stay tuned and follow my social media or join the Telegram group so that you do not miss this episode. It's going to be really, really fun, and I can assure you, you will have a lot of deep thoughts after the session is over on what are the things, whether you're doing giving right, and what are the things you need to look into with regards to giving. So that is going to be our next week's episode. So thank you so much for joining today. You also saw an ad earlier with regards to Money Matters book. That is a book that I wrote. For youngsters, it's the Guide to Finance and Life for Gen Z. So if you're a youngster, I highly recommend that you get a copy. If you're an adult who's tuning in, I highly recommend that you get a copy for a youngster in your life. And basically, I share about my personal experiences with regards to money management, as well as some of the experiences of the people I work with. And you can actually check out this book on my website as well, www.madura.com, madurak.com. So yeah, thank you so much, guys, for watching. See you guys next week on Money Matters. Have a great week, guys.